guys, welcome back. Beauty Belly here with another video. So today is gonna be a little chit chat again. It's gonna be a little chit chat, and the chat is gonna be about October 6th of this year. I will have been with my husband for 19 years, and December 29th of this year we'll be married for 17 years. So what it's been like. What has it been like being married for this long? And I would still consider myself a young person. No, I'm not in my 20s, but I feel like I am. And I think that counts for something. Um, so yeah, what has it been like? It's been it's been good. It's been bad. Um, but I think it's worth it. Like I feel like it's worth it. Like when I was younger, I never really like imagined myself not being married or not having kids. Like I knew that I wanted to be married and I knew that I wanted to have kids. But the thing about being married is that you just can't marry anybody. You really, really can't. And for all the women out there and men, I would say women and men, um, don't just give your whole self to a person that you are not married to. Save that for your spouse, because when you're in a boyfriend girlfriend relationship, you don't really have any obligations to each other unless you have kids, unless there's kids involved. But you shouldn't be acting like a husband or a wife prior to being married, because if you guys don't make it, you wasted all that time. You just don't want to give everybody 100% of you. You just don't want to do that. So how has it been since we've been married? It's been excellent. I would say they say it's the 7-year rule. I don't know if it's true or not, but it was true for us. The 7-year rule is that within the first 7 years of your marriage, you will experience turmoil. So 7 years is a long time, I think. But yeah, so our first 3 years was a little difficult. But then it started getting better. And then something about the 7th year. When we hit that 7th year, it was just like, we really need to figure out, what we want from each other and whether or not we can meet those expectations realistically. 7th year, we separated for an entire year. I didn't even know it was going to be that long, but we did. We went to marriage counseling during this time through the church, which didn't help. I say it didn't help because I felt like our therapist was on my husband's side. And in situations like that, you have to be neutral. So that didn't work out. We just, the year to the day. I remember we broke up like May 31st of, I think, 2017 or 2016. And then the very next year, on May 31st, I was like, that's enough. I'm making an executive decision. We're going to finish this out because this is what we promised God. So yeah, ever since then, our 7th year, everything has been pretty much smooth sailing, except for like, with my illnesses and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, that put a strain on us, but we were still able to get through it. But I feel like the ultimate test for marriages, like anybody who's been married already, the ultimate test was the pandemic. A lot of people broke up during that time. A lot of families fell apart because you're stuck in the house with this person, right? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You're stuck in the house with your whole family, actually. And, that's a real determining factor, I feel like. But we was good before the pandemic, so, whatever the case may be. But I felt like that was a real big determining factor for a lot of people. Yeah, I mean, for me, I feel like it's been amazing. The ups and the downs, because nothing is going to be picture perfect. Nothing is going to be 100% stress free. Marriage is work. Like, people are in love with the idea of being in love. But after the wedding and the white dress and the tux and all that stuff, the work really starts, you know? And I mean, I would say my husband and I, we've been through a lot of trials and tribulations with like surgeries, and it's been a lot. It's been a lot, but I feel definitely like it was worth it. And I also feel like I married the right person. I feel like I married my soulmate. So I met my husband when I was 19. We met in college, and I remember I was like, I'm just going to go to school, get my schooling out the way. I'm not going to get distracted, this, that, and other, blah, blah, blah. So first day of college, I go to my classes, and we had this class together, juvenile justice. And I remember I was in the class, and out my peripheral, I see like this dark figure. And I'm like, okay. So I happen to look over, and it's my husband. And I'm like, oh, God. He's cute, but I'm not going to let myself get distracted, right? So then our relationship just built from there. So it was like, I saw him, he saw me. So this was either August or September of 2001. And then I noticed that every time we had to break into groups, he was in my group. And I'm like, this is going to be a problem. This is really going to be a problem. So I'm like, I'm just here to get my education, this and other schoolwork. So then it was like, you want to be study buddies? And I'm like, okay, we can be study buddies. But the thing about me and my husband is that when we first met each other, we didn't really like each other. I mean, physically, we was attracted to each other, but it was like, attitude-wise, we didn't really care for each other. So, like, we would get into debates in school. So I remember our first debate was, are you a product of your environment? He was saying yes, and I was saying no. And he gave his reasons as to why, and I gave my reasons as to why. And, it was like, I don't know, maybe I was a challenge for him or something. So time went on. He had this suicide prevention nonprofit. It was called Lighthouse 2002, I think, or Lighthouse 2000. I think it was Lighthouse 2000. And I had did the graphics and stuff for him for his little suicide prevention thing. And it was like, once he told me he was doing that, it kind of reeled me in a little bit. Not as far as like a romantic relationship, but I was like really interested and invested into, his nonprofit or whatever. So I helped him out with that. And I was currently working at the college that we were going to at the time as an administrative assistant. So he would come to my office or whatever, and I would help him out, whatever. But we always had like this little tug of war thing. It was like, I don't know. I just didn't make it easy for him. So, yeah, he had his suicide prevention thing. And then I remember we met in August or September, and by November, he was having Thanksgiving with us. He had Christmas dinner with us, even though his birthday is on Christmas. It was just amazing. And then I remember and this is going to sound so weird, and this is true, for people who are Christians, dreams are real. Like, God can communicate with you that way. I had this dream that I was getting married, and I couldn't see the person's face, but I could see the shape of their head, and I could see that was a dark figure. And the shape of the head was his head. So I remember the next day I woke up and I called him, and I was like, I'm gonna marry you one day. And I remember because when we met each other and we were study buddies, I remember he took me to his mom's house, and I was so naive. Thank God he was a good person, because I probably would have got killed. he takes me to his mom's house. His mom lived in North Philly. And I remember it was dark. We caught the bus there. And I didn't know where I was at. So, like, if something was to happen, I was going to be in trouble. So I go there trustingly. And he introduced me to his mom and stuff. And I remember he was talking to one of his sisters. And he was like, I'm going to buy this girl a ring. It's going to be a 2.5 carat. This, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. This is before I had the dream. I'm like, he's just trying to cap me up or whatever, hype me up or whatever. So I go home. He comes with me. I think we caught a cab to my house. I lived in the Northeast. We caught a cab to my house, I think. Yeah, because we didn't catch the bus. It was too late. I think we caught a cab, and that was the first time he met my grandma. And my grandma did not like him. She was not fond of him. She told me that first day. So, yeah, time went on. We got into a relationship, and then we got pregnant. And then I would say probably 6 months into the pregnancy, we ended up separating. So we separated for about 3 or 4 years. I thought it was over. I had his name tattooed on me. I went and got it covered up. It wasn't immediately. Like, I waited to, like, almost until we got back together to get it covered up. But yeah, we didn't talk. I was like really upset with him. It was bad. I would call him either every 6 months or once a year just to make sure he was alive, because it was just like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't get into a relationship to get pregnant, not to be with you, this, that, and that, blah, blah, blah. But he had his own stuff going on. So yeah, we get pregnant, we break up for 3 or 4 years, and then we get back together in October of 2006. So I remember one day he had asked me to come down to his mom's house to talk to him about something. Well, we got back together. We got back together. Something just came over me, and it was like, go look for him. So I go around his mom's house. He's not there. And then I just start driving around his neighborhood. I saw him walking with his friends, jumped out the car, gave him a hug, talked to him, whatever, told him, I don't want to do this no more. Okay. He was happy, I was happy, and it went on from there. So we got back together October 2006. And by December of that year, he had gave me a ring. I went home because I was still living with my grandma at the time. And she was not happy. She was like, I knew he was going to do that, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. That's not no friendship ring. That's an engagement ring, this, and the other. I said, Grandma, he didn't ask me to marry him. This is what my husband did. He got in the car. He put the ring box in my cup holder in my car. He got out the car. I didn't know that he put this ring box in my cup holder. He got out the car. I'm started driving home. He calls me on my way driving home, and he's like, I left something in the car for you. I'm like, what? He's like, look in the cup holder. So I see this white box, and he's like, when you get home, open it. I go home, open it. It's a ring. Now, I knew I was getting a ring because I remember him looking on my computer at K Jewelers, right? But he literally bought this ring in October when we got back together, and he didn't give it to me till December. I get the ring, and then 2 years go by, and we end up getting married. But this is what we did. We went to the Justice of Peace. It wasn't like a big wedding or anything like that. We just went to the Justice of Peace, and then we saved our money. And then we renewed our vows 2 years ago, and we had the big wedding, the white dress, the church, all that. We did all of it. So yeah, I would say the first 3 years of our marriage was hard. Because you're still getting to know each other. Like, I mean, I knew him, but it's different when you're married to somebody. Like, you have to take that person's feelings in consideration. You can't just say, oh, it's my way or the highway. That's over. the highway is now y'all highway, okay? And y'all have to agree and compromise and make it happen. So yeah, I mean, I would say again that first 7 years is gonna be difficult. You're gonna have good times and bad times, but if you can get over that hump, make it to the 8th year, stay committed to each other, keep God first, y'all should be good. You know what I'm saying? Marriage is a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and honestly, I would say that I don't think I will ever get married again. Just for the simple fact that I have literally given my whole self to my husband. Everything I had to offer as a wife, I have given it to him. And I don't want to experience that moment with anybody else. I just wanted to be married to him. So, yeah. Yeah, but I'm so happy. Like, I don't know. It's like, I tell my husband, and he's like, you could have been with anybody. And yeah, I know that, like, he could have been with anybody, right? But the fact of the matter is that I saw so much potential in him. And you have to give people time to grow. As women, we're more mature than men. For whatever reason, it takes them a long time to grow up. It takes them a long time to get it together. And then you got to realize that nothing is ever going to be perfect, right? So you have to take the stuff that you love about that person and the stuff that you don't like that much. It's like, I love my husband as a whole being, everything about him, even the annoying stuff. I love him as a whole being, and I don't want to share that with anybody else. I just want to do that one time. Marriage for me is going to be a one-time deal. And I truly feel like we are going to be together for the rest of our lives until one of us leaves here, because if it wasn't meant to be, then it wouldn't be. And once you split up with somebody and you separate, and I said already in this video, we split up twice. If you come back and you keep coming back, it's just meant to be, right? So it's like, it's not a forcing thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not calling, asking people to come back home. It's a decision that they make. It's a decision that you make. So, yeah, that's all I got, y'all. If y'all have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And I wanted to thank my new subscriber. I can't see it. I can't see anything. I'm not getting notifications on comments or anything. I don't even know what's going on with my channel for real, because I'm not getting a lot of traffic, which is cool. But I don't know what's going on with my channel. But anyway, yeah, if nobody told you that you're enough today, you are enough just the way you are with no strings attached. And if nobody told you that they love you today, I love you. So until next time, guys, peace, love, and blessings. To the next one.